we're good to go.
Oh, there's...
Got this.
Bet your ass, Bubba.
I'm sorry, the f***? Bubba? Affectionate names? Bubba's probably not one I've heard before. We gotta respect the hand strength that Letty has, Jesus. And also, Dom is a very happy man. For no reason that has anything to do with that previous comment.
There she is.
Hey babe, you wanna have breakup sex before I run away?
Dom, how long have we been doing this? And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's too dangerous?
I think she makes a good point. But the thing is, we've only just... Has Vin Diesel been wearing earrings? Sorry, ADHD moment. The thing is, we've only seen up to this point, so I can't actually tell who's being reasonable here. Because Dom could be always nervous, and this is just kind of all that being bottled up, and now he's expressing his concerns, or he's having a real knee-jerk reaction to the first bad news he's heard in months. I'm not sure.
We'll figure it out. We always do.
Would some booty change your mind? Also, at this point, these two are supposedly married. I'm not getting married vibes. Alright. So, the woman that is supposedly your wife, you let her fall asleep, and then you left, but not before leaving 2 large stacks of money on the bedside table next to her? I don't want to say... well, I can see 2 situations where this could happen. Where you've paid a woman for some favors, or where you really should have signed a prenup and you didn't, and now you're regretting it. But, we'll move on.
Come on. Look at you.
Dom, calm down. That trend on Pornhub doesn't come for another, like, 12 years.
It was like she knew you were...
Ah! I always wondered, that silver thing, the cross, because it's like it's briefly important in Fast 5. I couldn't remember where it came from.
I want to see the crash site.
Why and how? How? Okay, I don't know. Is that a normal request? Anyone in law enforcement? Like, if you're in a situation like this, I mean, I know there's the murderer returns to the scene of the crime or something like that, but is it common for people to want to go to the site of where someone close to them died so they can see it or investigate it? Is that normal? It doesn't sound unreasonable to me necessarily, but what would you guys want to do? What's the first thing you do when you get home? Do you console with your family, or do you just immediately go, I want to go to where she died?
If I were Letty, I would ask you. No, I would beg you, please, let this go.
I am almost 1000% certain that is not what Letty would do. Because if Dom died, role reversal, if Dom died, she would burn the city to the ground. I'm almost certain of it. Because she was the one taking all kinds of crazy risks on the small chance she could get him back. Also, whose Acura is that? Because later we see her in a Honda NSX. Or an Acura NSX, whatever you want to call it. Which comes from nowhere. It comes from thin air.
Why don't you tell me why you dragged me here, Brian?
He wanted to go on a second date. We only ever saw you go on one other date, and you've still got an Integra, so there's hope.
All of a sudden you care what happens to me.
What I did to you was wrong. I'm sorry. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
You might want to sound a little more sincere, Brian. Her face, it's just like, are you f***ing serious right now?
I'm so sorry that you had to come into my home and pretend to love me. I'm so sorry that you ripped my family apart. I'm very sorry that was hard for you.
I'm almost certain he didn't do anything to rip your family apart, lady, all right? Let's just calm down for a second. Flashback, if you and Brian hadn't come along, Vince would have fucking died. Get that clear. The cops were still gonna come after Dom anyways, because they were already pretty sure it was him anyways. They were just gonna stop waiting around.
I always wondered, why'd you let my brother go that day?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Literally, in the second movie, you're talking to your best friend Rome. He's saying, you know, he felt guilty about Rome getting busted, and he felt like he could have done something more to help prevent that. And Rome basically goes, is that why you let that dude go in LA? And Brian goes, yeah, I think that had something to do with it. These people don't watch their own fucking movies before making more. Jeez. I just complimented them for saying that 5-year difference seems correct. Good on them. And then that.
Do you know each other?
He used to date my sister.
I see.
That's how I'd react too. I'd be like, he used to date your sister. And then he says this.
You're a lucky man.
How's that?
You're still breathing.
I thought the same thing as a kid. Not quite like that, but basically the same gist. Yeah, pretty much. If you got two dudes sitting next to each other, and one guy's like, if I get caught, I'm doing hard time. Also, he used to date my sister. I'd just be like, okay, so how is he not just fucking dead, right?
To the ladies we've loved and the ladies we've lost. Salute.
The ladies we've lost. That's a bit on the nose. Dom has recovered from his wife dying pretty well. He's like, hey, ladies. You sat down. I didn't even have to court you. How you doing?
She's gotta have those kind of eyes that can look right through the bull.
This is a scene.
20% angel, 80% devil.
Now, is that him describing Letty? Is that a good description of Letty? Or does she think he's describing her?
Ain't afraid to get a little engine grease under her fingernails.
That doesn't sound anything like me.
It ain't.
Ugh. Ugh. I don't understand this conversation though. Like, is she flirting with him or just messing around? That's something I never understood, is that people just sometimes mess around. Whether they're dating or not.
70 Plymouth.
You could just go with, you killed my wife.
Her name was Letty.
Got there in the end. Remember when I was talking about how Mia had medical skills training? And even though it's only ever covered in deleted scenes of the first film, it still makes its way into the later movies with this.
Well, it's not in there.
Did it go straight through? Didn't look like it. Why is it not in there?
Yeah.
Los Bandoleros in the background. I love that. And fucking Chinese food. A+.
Mom, what are you doing? You reach first. You have to say grace.
That's interesting. I actually forgot about that. That's a thing. They're all getting along, like, way too easily.
And family. And friendship.
You were pissed off at him, like, 24 hours ago, or whatever it was. Not that long ago. Y'all forgive each other so easily. I don't understand the relationships. What even is this property supposed to be? That it has personal effects in here. That had Vince in that picture. That was interesting. Is that her first name? Why is Letty suddenly Hispanic? Was she implied as Hispanic in the first movie? I just don't remember any references to that. I could be wrong, all right? That's fine. But it's not quite as bad as J.K. Rowling saying, oh, by the way, Dumbledore is gay and Hermione is black. But Leticia Ortiz. It even if they were married, why does it not say Letizia Toretto? Really? You're just gonna do it right in here so that Dom can walk in and be like, ah!
I have no choice.
You must have loved her very much.
Apparently. So, if you recall back to the first movie, he certainly didn't act like it.